This is the Fox 5 News Block.
Happening right now, the Department of Justice investigating former Governor Andrew Cuomo's handling of nursing home deaths. Why they say he lied to Congress about skewing the numbers. And add this to the growing list of confrontations in the Oval Office as President Trump confronts South Africa's leader over baseless claims of targeted killings of white farmers. A lot to unpack. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Antoine Lewis. Welcome to the News Blog. Those stories in just a moment, but first we have to go outside where spring temps are nowhere to be found. Let's bring in Audrey Pointe to talk a little bit more about this. Hi there.
Hi, Antoine. Unfortunately, what we can find is a lot of clouds and rain moving through the tri-state area. It is cool out there with a temperature of only 52 degrees being reported out of Central Park. It's 53 at LaGuardia. We have 55 down towards Atlantic City, and it's overcast pretty much throughout this part of the tri-state area. We do have some rainfall that is pushing through the region. It's been on and off throughout the day, and that will continue to be the trend as we move along through the afternoon here. Heading up to the Hudson Valley, we seem to have a break in the action across Rockland and Orange counties, but we do have some wet weather right now across Putnam County, as well as heading down towards pockets of Westchester, too. In and around New Jersey, it was pretty much a steady rainfall earlier this morning north of I-80, but now things appear to be quieting down here. But south of 80, right near 78, we can see we have some more showers in this part of the state here. Further downstate we go. Again, it was soaking across the Jersey Shore earlier, but now we're just seeing some spotty showers. And across Long Island, we're faring okay right now. However, the threat still continues for scattered showers around the entire tri-state area. There's a lot of moisture to work with here that's moving through the Northeast. However, it's moving very slowly, so we're really not going to budge here out of this system for the next couple of days. So right through Thursday and even into early Friday, we are expecting this upper level low to affect us with moisture in place, and that's going to exacerbate our issues as we go through the afternoon and into the evening here. With the most rainfall occurring late tonight as well as into Thursday afternoon, we're expecting about 1 to 2 inches in total. So that's pretty much a light to moderate rainfall, but it's going to be damp and it's going to be cool as we go through the rest of the week. And also wind gusts will be up to about 30 miles per hour, so that's going to add to the chill factor. Normally our high should be about 72. We're forecasting 56 for today. I'll let you know when we'll finally dry out coming up. Antoine?
All right, Audrey, we'll see you on just a little bit. Developing right now, the New York Times is reporting that the Department of Justice has launched a criminal investigation into former Governor Andrew Cuomo for allegedly lying to Congress about COVID-related nursing home deaths. Now, the investigation stems from an executive order Cuomo issued back in March of 2020, ordering nursing homes to accept COVID-positive patients without mandated testing. The order was reversed 2 months later. The Cuomo administration also started counting some nursing home deaths as hospital deaths, skewing the numbers. Later in July of 2020, the New York State Health Department released a report blaming nursing home staff, among other things, for spreading COVID. Under oath, Cuomo testified in front of Congress last year, saying he did not draft this report, but a former assistant said that he was involved. The House committee referred Cuomo for prosecution, saying there was overwhelming evidence that he lied. Now, a Cuomo spokesperson released a statement saying in part, quote, "The answer is obvious. This is lawfare and election interference, plain and simple, something President Trump and his top Department of Justice officials say that they are against." Cuomo is currently running for New York City mayor. Also developing, testimony resumed today in the federal sex trafficking trial of Sean Diddy Combs. This morning, defense attorneys cross-examined investigator Jared Gannon. Gannon was the special agent in charge of the raid on Sean Combs' home in Miami Beach last year. Gannon told the court that they recovered nearly 3 dozen bottles of baby oil and lubricant and a handgun and a box with narcotics. Combs is accused of running a drug-fueled sex empire. Forensic psychologist Don Hughes also took the stand after Agent Gannon was done. Hughes testified about abusive relationships and why women who say they are abused stay in relationships with their abusers. Sean Combs has pleaded not guilty to all the charges that he is facing. President Trump used a White House meeting to confront South African President Cyril Ramaphosa about allegations of white farmers being killed.
We had a lot of people. I must tell you, Mr. President, we have had a tremendous number of people, especially since they've seen this. Generally, they're white farmers, and they're fleeing South Africa, and it's a very sad thing to see. But I hope we can have an explanation of that.
Trump accused the country of failing to address white persecution and requested video be played that claimed to show evidence of violence against whites. But Ramaphosa pushed back against the allegations and said he'd never seen the video. Experts in South Africa have said there is no evidence of whites being targeted. Just a few minutes before the exchange, the South African leader said that he had asked for the meeting to reset the relationship between both countries and to figure out how to support one another. Breaking news, it's official. The Department of Defense has accepted a Boeing 747 aircraft from Qatar. According to the Pentagon, the plan is to install security upgrades to make it safe for President Trump to use as Air Force One. There's been a lot of controversy over whether or not the U.S. should accept the plane, which is reportedly worth $400 million. Critics say it's a violation of the Constitution's prohibition of foreign gifts, but Pentagon spokespeople are saying that the decision was made in accordance with all federal rules and regulations. Trump has defended the gift as a way to save Americans tax dollars. Republican lawmakers are at work on Capitol Hill today trying to pass Trump's big, beautiful bill. And as Fox's Doug Luzada reports, not all Republicans are on board.
There are reports that Republicans may be closing in on an agreement here among themselves to get this thing across the finish line, but a number of issues remain unsettled. The work started just past midnight here on Capitol Hill, and it didn't take long for this to get heated.
We may be here in the dead of night, but you do not need the light of day to smell manure.
Democrats fighting Republican efforts to pass President Trump's so-called big, beautiful bill of tax cuts and new spending priorities, delaying it, but perhaps unable to stop it.
They cannot complain about reporting legislation in the dark of night when the only reason it went so late was because of their own actions.
The one big, beautiful bill will include $25 billion for the Golden Dome.
The president yesterday in the Oval Office touting a new U.S. missile defense shield that would be funded in part by what has become his signature piece of legislation.
That was a meeting of love. Let me tell you, that was love in that room.
The president met with Republicans on Capitol Hill yesterday, hoping to win over a small group of conservatives who have been pushing for deeper spending cuts over deficit concerns, all of them under enormous pressure to wrap this up and fly home.
Jet fumes is the most powerful elixir in Washington, and we all know it.
I predict they will see the Memorial Day vacation frittering away, and they'll pass it. And then the challenge for the speaker is going to be passing what comes back from the Senate. That's, to me, the bigger challenge.
Now, if all goes according to Republican plans, there could be a full House vote on this later today, clearing the way for lawmakers to leave town for a long holiday weekend. In Washington, Doug Luzada, Fox News.
Developing on Long Island, test results are expected today for students and staff who were potentially exposed to a case of tuberculosis at Sachem High School East. All were tested on Monday. The news comes after a letter that the Suffolk County Department of Health sent to parents last Thursday that an individual in the school community is presently receiving treatment for TB. We're going to take a quick break and then we'll be right back.
Are you ready for the ultimate entertainment experience? Spectrum is bringing together the streaming apps you love. Plus, live TV for sports, entertainment, and news. All in one place, across your devices. So no matter when or where you are, it's all here. Spectrum.
Welcome back. So the rain won't stop New York from celebrating our armed service members. Fleet Week begins today with the parade of ships along the Hudson from Battery Park all the way up to the GWB. The 37th annual week-long event includes a variety of public military demonstrations. It's an opportunity for tri-staters to meet sailors, Marines, and members of the Coast Guard. Over 2,300 service members are expected to be in the city this week. Fox 5 spoke with two Marines who both happen to be New Yorkers, and they shared what it means to be here on home turf this week.
The stock market opening and Hard Rock Cafe.
I'm looking forward to going back to Times Square. Last time I was here was November with my family for Thanksgiving, so it feels good to go back, and especially being in uniform. This is my first time.
This year's Fleet Week celebrates 250 years of the Navy and the Marine Corps. Lady Gaga is now one award away from achieving EGOT status. She won a sports Emmy for her Super Bowl pregame performance of Hold My Hand. Lady Gaga performed the song in a pre-taped segment on Bourbon Street in New Orleans as a tribute to the victims of the New Year's Eve attack. Gaga already has an Academy Award and a Grammy, meaning now that she only needs a Tony to reach that elite status. Ahead of the Memorial Day weekend, several towns along the Jersey Shore are preparing for what could be a rowdy weekend. So both Seaside Heights and Ocean City are increasing police presences, particularly along the boardwalks. Ocean City also banning backpacks on the boardwalk, which officials say will help stop underage drinking and shoplifting. And the town of Wildwood is implementing a 10 p.m. curfew for anyone under the age of 18 unless they are accompanied by an adult. Officials say that the added precautions come after throngs of teens were on the shore last year, leading to aggressive crowds, violence, and vandalism. And a new addition to our ever-growing Fox 5 family, our Teresa Priolo gave birth to a beautiful baby girl. Meet Serena Louise. Serena was born Sunday night, weighing in at 7 pounds and 15 ounces. Mother and baby are both doing well, as is father, Dan. Mom and Dad tell us that the name means tranquil or serene, which they are certainly hoping to manifest. And now it's a true party of 5. Serena joins big brothers Matthew and Julian, whom you see there. We send our very best to the entire family. Let's go back outside where we talk about this spring day. Can we call it spring day, Miss Audrey Pointe?
Doesn't feel like it at all, Antoine, but let's hope for the best for sure. We are experiencing some cold weather across the region as well as some wet weather too. We do have the potential for some thunderstorms. That's mainly going to be south of the city here, mostly across the Jersey Shore, or at least southern portions of New Jersey heading towards the mid-Atlantic. For the rest of us, though, it appears that we're just going to have light to moderate rainfall on and off throughout the rest of the day here and going into tonight. We'll get some breaks here and there, but we will see rounds of rain not only for today and tonight, but also through the day tomorrow as well. This upper level low is really slow to move out of the region, so it's going to keep us unsettled as we go through the next 48 hours. And then on Friday, I think the best, or rather the worst dynamics will be off towards our northeast, but we'll still have some leftover showers and clouds on the backside of the system. So today we're looking at a high of only 56 degrees. We're going to do it again for tomorrow with a high of 55. More rain in the forecast. Some showers on Friday, however, not quite as numerous as today and tomorrow. We'll have a temperature of 62, and then we really recover as we go into the upcoming weekend. We're back to 70 degrees by Sunday with plenty of sunshine, so that looks to be like a very nice day. And then on Memorial Day on Monday, we'll have a mix of sun and clouds. Temperature will be about 71 degrees, and we'll have a nice dry stretch until we get into Tuesday. That's when rain will return to the tri-state area with a high of 70 degrees. So in the meantime, it's going to be chilly and damp, but again, we're going to recover just in time for the holiday weekend.
Now, you'd mentioned nor'easter, Audrey. Is that still the case? Or?
Yes, because we have a strong northeast wind coming in, and along with the rain showers, we have wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour, classifying it as a nor'easter.
Okay, welcome
Not as powerful
spring.
as you usually see in the winter, but enough to give us this cool and damp weather, that's for sure.
All right, thank you, Audrey. That is our news block for now, everybody. I'm Antoine Lewis. Thank you so much for joining us. Tune into the 5 o'clock news on Fox 5 and right here on the Fox Local app for all of the day's news as it develops. We'll see you back here tomorrow.